Hello.
My mic not on me. There we go. Fixed. Stream Deck has done something. Oh, I updated it today. That's why. Okay, good. Never mind. Install and update, break everything. We're good. We're fine.
Love that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hope we're doing well today. I am very excited. I'd like to firstly say thank you very much to Square Enix for reaching out again and asking to partner up and do a few fun little things this month. I did say few. This is not the only sponsor stream we're doing. So we are here today, we are here next Wednesday, and we are here the Wednesday after. So that is very exciting, wonderful, awesome news. I am quite keen and very grateful. As always, I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to work with sponsors. Like, for goodness sake, I get paid to play games. What is this? We love that. I know, right? Like, what even? What even? Well done, Dupe, on first. Haha, Zam, oh no. Well done on second. Hello, Erica, well done on third. Mike with fourth. Ooh, hydrate, I can do that. Thank you for the biddies, Dupe. We didn't even get to see what the lights looked like first. Hello, Josh. Well done on last arc. Well done. I'm gonna do this ad all this way. Should I eat you? That doesn't. Why does that not surprise me, Erica? Why does that not surprise me? Hello, Sheba. Hello, Sam. Hello, Mike. Hello, Dupe. He is Fear. Is also Char. Welcome back.
Hello.
It's amazing, wonderful. Though technically you are Zekril now.
Yeah. I still respond to Char, and I still read Char Grilled on a menu and go,
And your name is still Char Grilled in Discord. So,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, aren't we all humans of many names, technically, anyway?
Yeah. Well.
Oh, man. Look, it's fine. It's great. So, Little Ladies Day. I am so excited. Where is my go button? This one. Yes. I'm so excited. It's a special event. I am assuming it's kind of worked in with International Women's Day. I'm guessing that's what they kind of aimed for.
I think so, yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense. But there's like a fancy pretty emote and stuff like that, like a little quest chain to do. So we're going to go knock that out because it looks super adorable. There's like a thing with a fan. I was
a little fan dance. Yeah.
That's adorable. I'm going to love that. And I'm betting that my character can dance better than I can.
Oh, absolutely.
Char is a voice in your head and our heads. Char is a voice in everyone's head, essentially, yes. I can't.
It's saying, give me the chocolate, please.
I do have chocolate.
A pog.
I have some in the cupboard. Much and more has happened in Eorzea while you were away. To help those such as yourself reacclimate to the ever-changing realm, the 12 have prepared a most generous boon. The Returner's Bounty. Accepting this divine aid will provide you with the tools required to make that quick return to form, including experience bonuses for playing with mentors, as well as full access to the Novice Network, a chat channel dedicated to lending a helping hand. I will take that. Accept Returner's Bounty. Returner status is applied to players who have at least one class at level 50 or above, have not visited Eorzea in more than 45 days. Oh, that's cool. They acknowledge that the game moves quickly enough that, like, 45 days is... Yeah, okay. And have accepted the Returner's Bounty. So get Novice Network access, XP bonus when partying with a mentor up to level 80. Returner online status icon. Returner status is removed after accumulating 72 hours of gameplay after accepting the bounty, or by using the text command Returner status off. Sweet! Alrighty, let's do it. I'm fascinated by the squats. Oh, I remember. Okay, yep, good. We're in the... Yep, okay. I'm like,
it's all coming back. It's like, why are we here? Oh.
Why? Yes, good. All right, wonderful.
Why are there half-naked men doing squats?
I have mail, too. All right, so I need to go to Uldar to partake in Little Ladies Day. There's the button that makes me go back. Return! Wait, where's my home point? Find out. Yes, Uldar, let's go. It tells you, return to Uldar, Steps of Nald. Yes. Convenient. Look, it has been a little while.
That's alright. I expect the training wheels need to come back on, and that's totally fine.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like it's, we were talking about this the other day on stream where, like, someone will say to me, like, have you seen this movie or have you played that game? And I'll be like, it rings a bell, but I have no idea. And then all it takes is like 7 frames of the opening sequence, and I go, oh, this is that one where the guy does the thing and the chick does that other thing and the da 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 da, and they just look at me like, I thought you hadn't seen this. I'm like, oh no, apparently I have. You just need that little
Apparently I
key.
have, it's just gone.
Yeah, it's like locked away in the archives, and you've got to get the thing to unarchive it. You need to find that connection, and then we're good. Yeah,
Yep.
Oh look, it's a pretty flower. Yay. Alrighty. So, I do have coordinates here in my brief.
Yeah, I can show you where it is if you'd like.
That would be much better than me reading a document trying to figure it out. Let's go. Hello.
Hi.
There you
How's it
are.
going?
Well, thank you. I'm back in a bouncy mood. Because that's how we, come on, that's how we play video games. We bounce.
True and real.
No worries, do enjoy the rest of your evening. Bloomed sprout. It is a bloomed sprout. Calling my conscience Char from now on. Fair, Sam. Fair. See, oldie brain, I have it too. Look, I hope not, because I'm not that old. I'm not...
I think it's the Lala you
But
got.
hello,
Yeah,
I hope you're doing well today. Right, so, Royal Seneschal?
put the Lala.
Seneschal, I guess? Inheritance.
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out which part of that word I should be putting the emphasis on. But that, look, it doesn't matter. I mean, it probably does, but you know what? The Royal Seneschal has a new event in mind to bring smiles to all the princesses of the realm. This quest is available for a limited time only, and I do believe it's finishing, like, today. So...
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, March 15th is what I have in all of my messaging, but it is March 15th, like, I think it's PDT. So you've got a little while to do it. We're about to see how long it takes. Highly recommend you drop exclamation FFXIV in chat, grab yourself a free trial, get on in here and earn the stuff while it's here, while it lasts.
Come play video games with me, it's fun.
Yeah, right? Begging your pardons, good madame, but you are an adventurer, are you not? If so, I should be much obliged for your kind assistance. I am the Royal Seneschal, and it is my honour to oversee Little Ladies' Day. In case you are unfamiliar, the festival celebrates all the maidens of the realm, and my duty is to see that each and every lady is treated as a princess. For this year's celebration, we are planning to distribute replicas of an antique folding fan to participants. Wishing to learn more about said fan, Miss Alditha? A scion of House Thorn has taken it upon herself to investigate its origins. Alas, she has ever had a frail constitution and is feeling unwell. For now, she rests at my insistence, but passionate as she is about the celebration, I worry that she won't stay put. Thus, would I turn to you for help in order to take the burden off my lady, who is also a treasured princess this day? Might I prevail upon you to assist with her investigation? Yes. I'm truly grateful. Now, Miss Alditha should be resting on a bench in the Gold Court, so pray seek her out there. I leave her in your capable hands. Na-na-na-na. The critically acclaimed Morpega, Final Fantasy XIV. Indeed, indeed.
12.
Mystic, thank you so much for the resub. 11 months, my goodness. Much appreciated. Thank you for the support. What second it has? I'm doing very well, thank you. Very well. I hope you can say the same. Welcome back. Alrighty. On we go to...
Oh no, my game crashed.
Oh no, not good.
That's alright.
Alright,
I think
so
it's
it's
because I
in
was
there.
installing a driver.
Yeah, that'll do it. Graphics.
Aw. Oh.
Yeah.
The video went, hello! And I went, okay.
It's like, oi, we needed that. Where'd it go?
Literally.
Yep. Oh, it happens. It happens so much, doesn't it? That's right. I will. I'm fine. Everything is fine. Sweet security skill. I feel like that's not an actual way through. No, it's not. I should have just gone the way I was going
Yeah.
before. Woo! Okay.
That's alright.
I keep forgetting to scroll further into the map to see, like, yep.
Little arrows go, yeah.
Yeah, the little detaily bits. I know where the copy buster meme promoting it. That's it. That's it.
Look, every new player's first ultimate is always map prog.
Yeah. You're not wrong. In we go. Do well by the job, and again, encourage us paying under market that don't want to match market rates. Well, that's not very nice of them. In fact, I would go so far as to say that that is quite rude of them. I think that's a good choice. Look, if they get enough people into that role who then very quickly leave and go elsewhere, yep, like, they will eventually get the message. You don't have to stick around to try to teach it to them yourself. Wonderful day so far. I have, Josh. I have. It's been very, very busy. I've had a lot of things and bits and bobs to do, but no, it has been a good day overall. I hope you can say the same. I hope you've had a good day. It's very non-poggers. Agreed, Erica. Agreed. Sigh. Oh, my apologies. I didn't notice you there. Pardon me, but I do not believe we've met. Is there something you require? So the Royal Seneschal sent you. Well, I would be lying if I said that I didn't need the help. I'm in a worse way than I had realized. I'm supposed to meet with 2 people as part of my investigation, but loath as I am to admit it, I am in no condition to be up and about. As you may already know, I'm investigating the origins of an antique folding fan, the very one beside me, which I found in the Thorn Manor one day. Curious about the design, which is unseen in Eldar, I turned to the history books and discovered that it is of a style used in the palace during the Thorn dynasty. Further research revealed that Princess Edivia, my ancestor who gave rise to Little Lady's Day, once used such a fan in a dance she performed at a royal soiree. It was very beautiful by all accounts, and I should have liked to see it. Productive, Desmond, pretty sure that's been good. Yes, need a bit of cleaning and stuff tonight, but it's all good. It is good to be like a little bit productive. Like having just that little touch of it each day can just keep the pressure off. It's nice. Ah, thank you, Mike. I think I saw that. I was having a bit of a scroll through Discord. Much appreciated. Inspired by this discovery, I consulted the Royal Seneschal, and it was decided that we would make replicas of the fan as gifts for this year's celebration. However, when we showed the fan to the artisan we hired, he declared that, while undeniably designed in the Thorn style, it was crafted much more recently, no more than a few decades ago at most. Shock. This led me to wonder, who had this fan made, and why? With my mother no longer with us, I went and asked my father, but he claimed to know nothing about it and said no more. Though he married into the family, he is the present head of House Thorn. If even he does not know, then I have to seek answers elsewhere. Additionally, if we learned how the fan was used during Princess Edvia's time, I thought that we could share the knowledge during the celebration. Thus did I arrange to meet with people who are versed in the history of our family. As I am now, however, I can scarcely stand without feeling faint. I'm sorry to impose, but might I trouble you to attend the appointments in my stead? What we do, we are adventurers. I'm in your debt. Now, you will want to take the fan with you. My fan now. Cleaning type thing? Absolutely, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. I need to do a couple of runs to the local op shop, I reckon. Just offload some stuff. Please show it when you meet the individuals in question. One is a reporter from the Mithril Eye who will be at Arzaneth Ossuary, and the other is a historian who will be at the Quicksand. See, last time we played Final Fantasy XIV, I didn't have my Invisalign trays, and I keep tripping. There's a bite ramp behind my 2 front teeth to correct my bite. And it makes me lisp just a little bit. And so it's certainly making it a little trickier to get around some of these words that I'm not used to saying. I did pretty well last time we did the streams. And then, now it's just like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to read this amount of dialogue. My mouth and brain would go, nah, chief, that ain't it.
Oh dear. Alright, let us head out to the Quicksand first, because it's closest.
Jeez.
Go to the ossuary.
was gonna say.
Yeah. Like I can do this, right?
Yep.
Yes.
You do it.
It's all coming back to me. Can I help you with something? I'm actually supposed to meet someone here, but she appears to be late. Show fan. Ah, so you've come on Miss Alditha's behalf. And this is the fan she wished me to inspect. Indeed, it is of a style hailing from the Thorn dynasty. It is said that Princess Edvia carried such a fan when she attended functions. In those days, it was considered meet for noblewomen to cover their faces, to which end they carried folding fans on their persons. But as the legend of the lost lady would attest, Princess Edvia didn't concern herself with social norms, and at a royal soiree, far from using her fan to cover her face, she used it to perform an impromptu dance. The Sultan and his of seneschals looked on aghast, but the guests were captivated by her performance and erupted into rapturous applause when she finished. You know when it's like, I feel like that word is going to be pronounced completely separately to how it's spelled.
Yeah, literally.
Like soiree, it is not soiree. It is soiree. And so I'm like, I'm sure. But I just, nope, don't know what that is. Not even going to try.
Yeah, my brain like blue screens at some of the words. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. It's very much like higher English, and I love that. I mean, some of it's not even English. A lot of it's French, but it's still like, brain, no play. That dance came to be known as the Little Ladies' Dance, and it is said to have been passed down through the women of House Thorn. The fan you hold, I expect, was crafted for that very purpose. How far into Final Fantasy XIV are you, Fia? I have a 59 Paladin. I know I'm still in Realm Reborn, but I'm in the post-game story. But I haven't quite got to the first expansion, which is called...
What's it called, Fia?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Heaven's Ward.
That's the one, Heaven's Ward. I did know. I'm just, my brain is... I needed the access. Heaven's Ward, yeah. So I haven't started on Heaven's Ward yet, but I'm technically finished Realm Reborn. So we're going to do Little Ladies' Day. And then once that's done, we're going to head off to For the Greater Good, which is my current MSQ quest.
Let's go.
But yeah, I am a level 59 Paladin. Good. Fen, you hold, I expect, was crafted for that very purpose. Curious, though, as a daughter of House Thorn, it seems to me that Miss Alditha should be aware of this legacy. In any case, I hope I was able to be of some help to her. Pray pass along my regards.
Oh yeah, you're a paladin. There you go.
Schwing. Okay, Grizzled Historian goes bye-bye. That last line at the end there, why does she not know this? Like, it's, she should probably know this. Okay, so where is this? All the way down the other way. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. That's right.
I think we can take a little teleporter from memory. I don't know whether you unlock it.
Yeah, Thaumaturge.
Yeah, there's one over there, I remember, vaguely.
Blowing. Some have, amazing, strength. Propelling.
Yeah, I know, right? And then you watch a Lala and they're jump and they're up to chest height. It's like, are you part rabbit? Like, what's going on here?
Clearly. That's amazing. What is the max level? That is a really good question. Is it
90?
90. I thought, yeah, because the returners bonus, the experience buff stops at 80, but that's not max. It's yeah.
It's 10 levels before the max level. Last expansion, Shadowbringers, which is a banger.
Where could Alditha be? Can I help you? Fan show. Waiting, look at the fan. This fan, Alditha sent you. I take it? Well, very well then. I'll tell you what I know. When Alditha reached out about an antique fan she found, I was instantly reminded of a similar one that I saw long ago. By her description alone, I couldn't be certain, but to see it here and now, there's no doubt in my mind this fan once belonged to Alditha's mother, Claudia. Much easier to say. She was still half a girl at the time, 15 summers old perhaps, when I interviewed her for a Little Ladies' Day article. That day, she had this very fan with her. She was out of sorts though, and begged to sit down and rest. As tired as she looked, I decided to cut the interview short and ended up writing about something else. I must say, I find it a little strange that Alditha should ask me about the fan. It belonged to her mother, after all. Surely she would know about it. And she's also feeling out of sorts. Bum.
Squints.
Yeah, press X to doubt. Good. So, Gold Court, I think we're porting back to the quicksand is probably easiest,
Go back to the Etherite Plaza.
right? Oh, yeah.
It's relatively close.
They're about equidistant, aren't they?
Yeah, it's either
Yeah.
or, to be honest.
Bigger and shinier. Let's click that one.
Quick, get the ruler out.
Yeah! That's it, eh? That's it. I love the music of the bar. It's just so chill.
Yeah, the night music of Uldar is really, really nice.
It's so peaceful.
It is very nice. There is a city you've yet to get to, and I love their night music.
Do they have, like, is there a an official source for the soundtracks that's available?
I'm pretty sure there is. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it's like things like
Like it's available
ambient
on
music like
Spotify
cities
or
and
something
stuff.
like that,
Yes,
but yeah.
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Alright, I'll have to have a hunt because, like, I am always on the lookout for, you know, like I've got, there's a like a spa playlist on Spotify where it's just chill, nice, pretty things in the background.
Yeah.
But like, video game music better. So, but you don't always want like the big dramatic drum crashy electro pop, whatever it happens to be. You don't always want the adventure music. Sometimes you want the I'm sitting down whittling some wood kind of music. So
Yeah, just sort of chill out music. Yeah.
something to stitch to, you know?
Yeah, like there's definitely a lot of that in this game.
Absolutely. 11 tiers, in fact, not max level. Wonderful, been thinking of getting back into the game. Really miss the fishing. Oh my goodness, fishing was so much fun. So much. Like the fishing logs and everything, just come on. Gimme.
Elections, let's go!
Yeah. Enjoy your lactacy. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, don't stress. It's, yeah, there are some things that are deactivated. Chat rate, yep, that's it. That's it. But yeah, other bits and pieces, there are certain things that are switched off. That's all. They are on Spotify. Thank you, Erica. Amazing. Angel, there's OST for Final Fantasy 14 on Spotify. Thank you. Playlist rising. Brilliant.
Nice.
The official stuff. Well done to Sierra on winning the free-for-all. Ah, you are returned. Thank you for attending the appointments in my stead. So, did you learn aught of interest? If, Ooh, cutscene. Proper cutscene or like a read it cutscene? A moment.
The read it once.
Well, I'm silently talking at the moment, so there we go. It is a read it. What? The fan was my mother's, and it was used to perform the little ladies' dance, a dance passed down through the women of our line. Forgive me, but I'm not sure what to think. I never knew about any of this, about neither the fan nor the dance. Why didn't my mother share the tradition with me? Perhaps she didn't have the chance. Yes, I feel that is the only plausible explanation. My mother succumbed to illness when I was little. Even if she had wished to pass on the tradition, she never had the chance to do so. Be that as it may, my father must have known something. I know not why he claimed otherwise and feigned ignorance about the fan, nor do I expect that he would willingly talk. Suspicious music. So good at setting the scene, like, wise. Still, I want to know about the dance and about my mother. I'm sorry to impose yet again, adventurer, but won't you help me find the answers? I don't have a choice. Yes. This means a lot to me. Thank you. Now then, if my mother appeared at Little Ladies' Day with her fan, it seems likely that she performed the dance there. On that assumption, I propose we look for those who knew my mother around when she was involved in the festival. For this, wealthy middle-aged folk seems like a likely place to start. Chances are they at least crossed paths with her in social circles. To that end, could you please try approaching affluent-looking individuals at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange and Edge Times Aesthetics? I shall await you here. We're profiling.
Perhaps.
We are socioeconomic status profiling.
Welcome to Adar. We hope you enjoy your stay.
Yes! Yeah!
Capitalism. Yee.
Mmm. Zara is certainly a special place.
Yep.
I think I can go this way. Looks like I can. Willowy noblewoman. I reckon that's going to be our first one. Not at all because she's got the thing above her head, but you know. Look, I can be cheeky. What's that? Do I know Claudia Thorne and the dance she used to perform? May I ask who is asking? Goodness me, to think Aldithia had no idea. I was good friends with her mother, I'm proud to say, and would be glad to share what I know. She was quite frail, was Claudia, and constantly took ill. As a result, she seldom attended social functions and certainly never performed the little ladies' dance in them. She did, however, show it to me in private, and I consider myself blessed. It was so beautiful, I begged to learn it from her. Excuse me. She kindly taught me, and she would have dearly loved to teach Aldithia too. I'm sure it breaks my heart that she never had the chance. But if Aldithia is keen to learn the dance, nothing would please me more than to teach it, a poor substitute though I may be for her mother. She waits at the Gold Court, yes? I shall go and find her there at once. Amazing. Thank you, Sam. Much appreciated. The other direction. Zoom, zoom.
We go.
We go. We smack. Smack. This one. Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Haughty mother, oh dear.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. A thorn woman who once danced at the festival. I'm afraid I'm not familiar. Little Ladies' Day has always been a common folks festival after all. If anyone were to know, I dare say it would be the head of the Thorn family. 'Tis under their auspices that the celebrations take place. Well, we know that's not correct. Indeed. Where in the world did she disappear to? What? Did I ever see the dance performed by Claudia Thorne? As it happens, yes. Yes, I did. It was during a Little Ladies' Day celebration many years ago. Claudia was participating for the first time, and I had the honor of being her guide. By way of thanks for my company, she showed me the dance. Flourishing her fan, she moved with such majestic grace, I was left utterly transfixed. A dance so lovely should be seen by all. Won't you perform it on stage at the festival? I suggested. And to my delight, she agreed with a smile. But no sooner did she finish enrapturing the crowds, oh my goodness, than she retreated out of sight and all but collapsed to the ground. It was then that I learned of her frail constitution. Though I hadn't been aware, I felt no less terrible for making her overexert herself. I apologized profusely, begging her not to push herself ever again, and the sad look on her face when she nodded is something I've not forgotten to this day. But look at me prattle on to a complete stranger, my apologies. Now then, I was in the midst of looking for someone, so I shall excuse myself. Keep tripping over my words.
I do that too.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Alright. Let us return to Alditha.
Return to the Waking Sands. Smile.
I think I can smack the thing Good Gladiators Guild. Might be just a slight bit closer. Not by much, though. Just a little bit.
We go.
Every time I play Final Fantasy 14, I inexplicably gain a desire for rock candy.
What? You can't eat the crystal rocks.
No, I know, but I wanna! They look so tasty and shiny.
Crunchy.
The pretty colors.
The jobstones
bet
look like
it'd
gummy
be
candies too.
Sorry?
The jobstones also look like gummy candies too.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
I feel like the aetherite would like be like fairy floss flavor. I know fairy floss is usually pink, but I just get this, like, it's either gonna, it's like bubblegum flavored fairy floss
Yeah,
type flavor, you know? Yeah. I wanna lick
Hubble
it.
bubble, bubblegum. Mm.
I wanna lick it. I shan't, but I wanna.
Yeah, this is how you get thrown in jail.
We need to get you some rock candy while you play this game. I mean, there's the throne for that. I should probably find some to put on the wish list. Oh, there you are. A woman was here just now. She told me she was a friend of my mother's and kindly taught me how to perform the little lady's dance. It's as beautiful as I imagined it would be, and I cannot thank you enough for finding this person. Now then, were you able to learn aught from anyone else? So you're trying to eat an aetherite crystal. No, I'm not trying. I know I shouldn't, but I want to. Even just like a lick. Looks like rock candy. So my mother once performed the dance before a crowd, but the exertion was too much for her. From what I've now seen, the movements may indeed be trying for those of poor health. Those such as myself. Thus did my father choose to keep the dance a secret from me, out of concern for my well-being. Or so I speculate at any rate. Lady Alditha, thank heavens I found you. Rodolphe, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? Begging your pardons, my lady, but you disappeared from the manor without a word. Both your father and I have been worried sick. But all's well that ends well, and it seems that you were on hand for the young mistress. As her seneschal, allow me to express my heartfelt gratitude. Seneschal's like a butler, or like a personal assistant type feeling.
Noted.
Now then, my lady, even as we speak, your father searches for you in the city. If you feel strong enough, let us seek him out together. It would set his mind at ease. Yes, of course. Thanks to you, I've discovered things I never knew about my family, and I would have you at my side when I meet with my father. Will you come with me? Yes, of course! I want to see if that's the real reason he kept it a secret. Thank you. Your presence will give me the courage to seek the truth. This magic makes up the backbone of our transportation and logistics network. It also tastes of sugar and blueberries. Yes, I was thinking like bubblegum fairy floss kind of flavor. Mostly sugar, but with a hint of something that actually has flavor other than sugar. Something just like, yeah, just a little bit. Master Fortin should be somewhere in the Ruby Road Exchange. Please follow me. Righty. This way.
Huh?
You're the woman from earlier. I should have guessed you were the one who aided my daughter. I said what I said, not realizing you had come at her behest. But what's done is done. Now, allow me to properly introduce myself. Fortin Thorn, head of the Thorn family, at your service. No more secrets, father. Why did you hide the truth from me? I couldn't bring myself to tell you. Even as that fan and that dance hold fond memories of your mother, they are a painful reminder that she is gone. I couldn't bear to lose you as well, so please, return the fan and forget about the dance. It's incredibly selfish. Father, I understand full well why you feel this way. Were I in your position, I would likely feel the same. But as much as I'm touched by your concern, I know about everything now. About Mother, about the fan, and even the dance. before. My goodness, you look just like your mother. There we go.
Oh, it's cute though.
It is very cute. Very, very cute. Claudia? Lady Alditha, that was extraordinary. Where in the world did you learn how to dance so beautifully? An old friend of Mother's taught me. Despite all these years, she still remembered the entire dance down to the smallest flourish. Mother brought you great joy when she danced for you that day. On coming to understand this, I knew that I wanted you to experience that joy again. Alditha. Like I once apologized to your mother, I must now apologize to you. It was wrong of me to hide the fan and the dance from you, and I hope you find it in your heart to forgive me. If it is your desire to carry on the tradition, then I will not stand in your way. Thank you, but you know, Father, it is Little Ladies' Day. Rather than an apology, is there not a more appropriate gesture for the occasion? As you say, my princess. As you say, I, Fortin Thorn, head of the Thornheugh family, do hereby pledge to serve as your royal seneschal, for every wish is my command. Except, perhaps, when I judge that you are overexerting yourself. After all, your highness's well-being is my foremost priority. I shall bear that in mind. Without further ado, then, my first wish is to instruct festival staff in the Little Ladies' Dance, that we may share it with all who participate in the festivities. If that is your wish, then it is mine as well. On this day, all ladies are princesses, and everyone should by rights inherit the dance, passed down in our family. I have a gift for you, adventurer, as a token of my gratitude. It isn't much, but please accept these instructions for the dance, along with a replica of my mother's fan. Now then, there's no time to waste. We must distribute these fans to as many people as possible and share with them the history of the dance. This will be a Little Ladies' Day to remember. Oh, yes, it will. Thumbs up, buddy. Thumbs up.
Murd.
Like, yeah! That's awesome. Amazing! Complete. Seasonal event quest completed. Someone should ask Koji Fox what they taste like. I believe that that is a yes. Yes, you should.
It'd be pretty funny.
Aw, thank you, Sam. I am happy. I am happy. Note of approval, yeah. Alrighty. So, I've earned the achievement, Her Greatest Fan. And I have obtained a copy of Ballroom Etiquette Fanfare.
Yep, it'll be in your inventory. It's a little book you gotta learn.
Oh yeah, yep.
You read the book and learn the steps. Easy.
Boom. You learn the emote Little Ladies Dance. Alright. How do I do G-pose again? Slash G-pose? That sounds like a thing. Yes! Alright. Cool. So let's, how am I... Oh, there we go.
Okay, so the thing with G-pose, it'll use the last animation you've done. So, if you do the dance beforehand...
Yep. Well, can't you find the emote in the thingy?
Not that I'm aware of,
No?
but I don't really G-pose that often.
Right. Battle effects, that's not... Okay. That's okay, I'm clearly not very good at this.
How dare you be learning a new thing? Oh, there we go. There's mine in the background.
Yeah!
There we go.
Perfect.
Whee!
And
Good
group
counts.
pose, yes. Alright, brilliant.
It's funny. If you're after the emotes, I think they're under social, which is
they
the little
are,
small
yeah.
faces.
Perfect.
And it's under the general tab.
Oh, they are? I thought they were
Yep.
special.
Nope.
Little ladies dance. There we go. That is very cute. Cat, get out of the way.
No, I'm cute. Average cat
Attention.
behavior.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Exactly it. Amazing. Yay! Awesome. Done. And that's all you gotta do. Grab yourself a new shiny emote. And of course, if you don't have a Final Fantasy XIV account, you can get yourself a free trial. Type exclamation FFXIV into chat. Grab that link. And go bananas. Go bananas. Thank you, Sam. Much appreciated. See, let's. Oh, this is so cute.
Yeah.
It is very pretty. I wonder what the movements themselves were inspired by. Like,
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
I'm sure there's some real world inspiration there, but like,
Absolutely.
yeah. It's very pretty though. I like it a lot. All right. And yes, my character can dance far better than I can. Good. Alrighty.
I just have a bunch of very, very silly dances.
Update the title because we're shifting onto the other quests we're doing for the greater good. We need to go to Kurthos. So I'm gonna head to Camp Dragonhead. We get to say hello to Lasagna again.
Lasagna, my beloved.
Lasagna. We have a frozen lasagna in the freezer, but that's a different kind of lasagna.
Please don't eat your chocobo.
I'm not eating my chocolate.
Oh yeah, I've not shown you my armor, have I?
Yes! You need to.
Oh, Dragonbird. He's one of the most shapes of all time.
Oh, wow.
It's a little puppy dragon.
Oh. This is beautiful.
I know, it's so cute.
Oh my goodness. I love the coloring too.
Yeah, it's actually got 4 wings.
Oh wow, look, so it does. Little baby wings, big upgo wings. Alright.
Yeah, it's good.
Lasagna.
That's I forgot
Whee!
it was rugged up.
Yeah, because you made me delightful armor. Which was appropriate when we finally got to Kurthos.
Yeah, it was cute. Oh, that's right, you can
Oh,
fly
I can
now.
fly now. I forgot about that. Hey.
I wasn't sure when you got it.
No, neither was I. Love accidentally discovering fun things.
It just be like that sometime.
It do be.
I need like snow goggles. It is very, 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 very blizzardy right now.
Friend-shaped indeed, Shiva. Friend-shaped indeed. Enjoy. Blap, 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 blap,
Wings.
blap. Well, I can fly, but why?
Trying its best.
I mean, it's got a whole lot of padding to keep up.
Sure.
Okay. There you are, Fiamma. Commander Leveler instructed me to wait for you. Your assistance is most welcome, believe me. Most of the Third hail from Uldar, and for a man accustomed to the feel of sand beneath his boots, the crunch of snow can be rather disconcerting. But to the matter at hand, nary a moment ago, I received word that the heretics we seek have been spotted making for Danavan Pass. My braves are already in pursuit, and I should be grateful if you would join them. I myself shall be taking part in the hunt. Never let it be said that I do not earn my coin. Alright. That's you. Ing. Red unit brave. Balls, my ankle is on fire! Caught my boot on a rock or something and twisted it as I fell. The others went on ahead through Danafin Pass. Hurry and you might catch up. If you aren't sure where to go, look for tracks. The snow is fresh, so they shouldn't be hard to find. Do we go like over, or do we have to go all the way around?
I'm pretty sure there's a tunnel from memory.
Perfect. Electronic beep gets me.
Yeah, when I get zoom. Probably a workplace health and safety hazard, but that's okay. We don't talk about it.
Fate.
Oh, there's a big lizard.
It is a big
Probably needs a heat lamp.
one.
Be a little bit cold in there
Alright.
for you, bud.
Fresh prints. The tracks lead southeast. Scion, what are you doing here? The heretics? I'm not sure. There was a great scaled beast in cough cough. House? I think he went east on his own. The heretics split up, so we did too. Uh-oh. Big purple circle, you know what that means.
Squints.
Hostile presence. I don't get paid enough for this. Yeah.
Never mind. I'll just watch.
Do you want an invite?
No,
Okay.
I'm just watching. Actually, I should probably. Why doesn't plug it? That's bad.
How embarrassing. I was so intent on following the heretics' tracks that I almost failed to notice they had doubled back. Almost, mind you. One tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in the gut for his troubles. I thought myself alone, so I started searching the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest, and lo and behold, before his friends found me, I came upon this. Withdraw in groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give the signal and wait. The merchant will be watching. Be late and be left for dead. Speaks for itself, does it not? They can't possibly mean to rendezvous inside the place, so we should restrict our search to the surrounding areas. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your search to the wilderness around the observatorium. I will need more than a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. I mean, fair. Up and away! Get beat to death. Apparently, yeah, apparently.
Yeah, well, it doesn't help that Paladin had a rework.
I mean, it still goes 1, 2, 3, so that's
Oh
that's
yeah,
good enough.
absolutely. Yeah, the 4 in the different combo is now a cooldown now, which is very interesting.
Okay. I'm through with listening to your excuses. We leave now. How? The woods are crawling with those blue coats, and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates. Coats, you say? Well, stay with her then, if you think you'll fare any better. Now, there's no need for that. There are places like this in my homeland, sacred snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Yet your lands ever thirst for the blood of the fallen, and by your deeds it has drunk me. No, I have done no wrong. None but meet in secret with heretics. Deny it all you will. We shall have the truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the art of interrogation. Damn it all. Such dramatics. Oh! Fancy meeting you here, Fiamma. I presume your work with the Third brought you hither. What a tangled web. Lest you wonder, we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. He came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. It beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favourite Gullian spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Yugiri and her shinobi, we might never have discovered this connection. Master Alphino is too kind. I fear my people and I have done little to aid your search for the spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land to prevent the tragedy which befell Doma from reoccurring. The days ahead and the work they promise will require a very particular set of skills. Skills which I am fortunate enough to possess. If you will allow it, I would accompany you until the investigation is complete. That is a most generous offer, Lady Yugiri, and one which I gladly accept. Thank you. Though I may disappear for a time, know that I shall never be far and shall always be watching. A comforting thought. Come, Fiamma, let us wait inside for Captain Ilbert to return and deliver his report. Heretics found!
Ta-da!
Captain Ilbert seemed confident that the merchant's resolve would swiftly crumble when pressed. If so, we should have new information ere long. As to whether it will bring us any closer to learning the Ivy's identity, I would rather not say. Given our adversary's cunning, I shall consider us fortunate if we are spared another wild dodo chase. The gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time as it is. Hey!
Ta-da!
Ta-da, indeed. Alphino is eager to hear Ilbert's report on the Ivy. As am I. It's a lovely shade of blue.
It's very nice.
A cobalt with a tiny hint of purple. Captain Ilbert, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could tell us naught that we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Ishgardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired their information on the shipment routes. You will recall the flame we first identified as being in the Ivy's employ. From him, we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Forton. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other. With a little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that is one mystery solved at least. But what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider then that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent is among Ralban's innermost circle, someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flames' establishment? 'Tis the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked and remain above suspicion all these years. I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. Of the three grand companies, Uldar's was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa Lominsa and Britannia had long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mind, under the same leadership. Only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Uldar's military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. Difficulties Raban faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Excuse me. Indeed. And given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing cell. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier then and now, The Immortal Flames have ever been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monetarists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, 'twas not out of charity that they did so, but simple self-preservation. Had Nail Vandanis' ambitions been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would never have risked supplying Raban with an army. 'Tis but a wonder they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Returning to the present. Even as we speak, our German allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, we have the second attend to the unrest. The third can join the fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like manner to the other primals, in like manner to the other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Sir Imric informing him of our success in identifying the heretics' abettors. Hopefully the information will be of some use to the Ishgardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I am aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. As Commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Fiamma, as the realm's stoutest champion. 'Tis only meet that you be present for the discussion. Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent, lest you worry. Let's go to a meeting! Yay!
Yay, bureaucratic stuff.
Yeah! I'm the champion of the realm. Can't I go just smack stuff? Like bonk?
Just tell me what to hit, and I'll go hit it.
Yeah! It's alright. Like me, you are doubtless eager to conclude our business with Iceheart, but until another path to her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. Minfilia and the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route. Until such time as they succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go on ahead to Gridania in readiness for the coming council. Meet me at Nofika's altar, and we shall make our way to the Lotus Stone together.
Honey,
New Gridania! Go, go. Zoom, zoom.
I think... Hang on a minute. Yeah, Conjurer's Guild.
Yeah.
Little etherite dude.
Ah, yes. Oh no. My thanks for coming, Fiamma. When you are ready, speak with the conjurer yonder. She will show us to the lotus stand. There you go. The Alliance leaders await you at the lotus stand. Will you be joining them now? EEs. Thank you. Meeting! Go! Is this another meeting that could have been an email?
Literally.
Nah, it's good. We get actual story chunks and stuff rather than just like drip fed.
Oh.
Change has come to the
We don't have
Guardian
to talk.
Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
This can't be good for us.
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
Most untimely passing. Someone got assassinated. That's how that works. I learned this from many other war-based historical games.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
That's not very nice.
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
Nice. But, that's not how things generally work. There's big shoulders. Would you get back pain? Yeah, that's why I walk so slowly.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Ye Galvus is a respected military leader. Not so his uncle.
So young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
Swoosh. Gotta have a flair for the dramatic as a leader. You just
Absolutely.
Jowls to like. His face shape is quite unusual and it's very imposing. Like it's really, it suits the
Given
character,
the
but
troubled
it's like.
nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their Emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I propose that we set aside the Cartano dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it. If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the Ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
Get him. Oh no, 11. I'm sorry to hear that. It will not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no nearer to being of one purpose, despite their protestations to the contrary. Plainly, the threat of a resurgent Garlemald is not enough to stir them. And the reason for this? Deep-rooted mistrust among the citizenry. The nation's leaders can come to all the understandings they like, but their unity means little and less to the common folk. Take the Laminsons, for instance. Though Admiral Melweb outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swilling, wooden-legged cutthroats. In likewise, the Gridanians are mocked as hermits who talk to trees, and the Ildans scorned as swindlers who worship coin. Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillar of Uldan society to Legia Adelegi, for example, but that is beside the point. The fact is that people are wary of outsiders whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict at Cartno is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them something resembling warfare, and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough idle musing, let us speak of a more pressing matter, the Ivy. Since we spoke at the Observatorium, Captain Ilbert has further shortened his list of suspects, and by happy coincidence, the one he deems the most likely candidate has lately come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, Fiamma. All that remains is to corner our quarry. Seek out Ilbert near the Adder's Nest. He will give you the particulars. Should there be any developments in Kurthus, you may be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in apprehending the Ivy. Oh, bugger, 11. That's alright. Gotta learn things somehow, hey? Righty. First time for everything. Headed. New Gridania. I guess just the Aetheryte Plaza. Perfect.
Yeah,
I think I need socks because my toes are frozen. Luckily, they're in here with me.
Ta-da!
Yeah. I swear my second name is so terrible. Like, so terrible. That's fine. Totally fine. Alrighty, that's what socks are for. This way. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we have unmasked the Ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. Ooh. There's one that's mine. Oh, look at me! I am Chunk. Ilbert is convinced that he has discovered the Ivy's identity and is preparing to move against the Garlean spy. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than Flame Marshal Aline Royale, Rauban's second in command. Prior to joining the Immortal Flames, she was a mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with a polearm had to be seen to be believed. Of Ishgardian birth, she is the highest ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, barring the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Rauban chose people based on their worth. Whence they hailed was of no interest. The Monetaris saw things differently, however. Having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And 'twas no secret that they did not favour foreigners, Ishgardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the Alliance. Yet the Monetaris did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Royale was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that the Ivy has some hold over the Monetarists? But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is Royale's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the Immortal Flames in the absence of the Flame General. While Rauban attended the Council of Alliance Leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless, on some pretense. She is up to something, mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trawling the Flames records for evidence of Ryle's guilt, but if we can catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing, and the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely upon your eyes, Scion? You have my thanks. Let us go then, and take care not to alert our quarry. Let's do a stalk.
Yeah, solid sneaky. Give me the box.
He, my skirt is swooshy swooshy.
It's pretty cool though.
I do, I like this one. I mean, not that I didn't like the last one, but I do quite like this one. Royale is headed in the direction of the Blue Badger Gate. With me, Scion. So Royale has entered the Carline canopy, meeting someone perchance? Or could it be she means to board an airship? Pray look for her within. If she is not on the upper floor, try the landing area below. One of mine is stationed there, and she may have seen something. Ephemy is her name. I shall remain here in case Royale reappears. See if she's downstairs.
Squints.
Suspicious. Fiamma Ventinov, such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? Ahem. A social visit, you say? How pleasant! No, she didn't come this way. I've noted every passenger and none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep you. FMA.
You blinked as you walked past you, didn't you? God damn it.
Something like that. Or she took like a secret back door.
Yeah. Secret squirrel business, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaky.
Sneaky, sneaky. No nowhere to be seen, you say, and you are sure she did not board an airship? She did not come back out either. Where in the seven hells should she have gone? The roost! How could I forget? Greetings, good sir. Might I interest you in some Muntai tonic? A cup a day imbues a man with great vigor, if you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait, that necklace. You are a shinobi of Doma. The woman you seek has left Gridania by way of West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. Thank the 12 for the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, Roa would have disappeared without a trace. Any of these? I take the coin, please.
Money.
Ooh, hydrates. Money! Yay for coin. Yay for gil. Righty. Our hunt leads us to the East Shroud, Scion. Let's try all of that again. Our hunt leads us to the East Shroud, Scion. I suggest we follow Ryal's example and take the ferry from West Shore Pier. You'll doubtless wish to make certain preparations. See to them while I go on ahead. I shall wait for you at Sweet Bloom Pier. Are there any preparations I should probably make at this point that I have already done? I mean,
Not from memory.
yeah, like I'm up to date with my job quests and stuff, I believe.
Yeah, it should be good.
So I think I'm good. Alright, cool.
I think it's over by the Lancers Guild from memory, where the boat is. I think.
Archers. Wait, Archers. No.
Or
Shroud. Lancers Guild. Yep.
I'll remember sometime.
I'm learning to navigate.
Look, I don't really use the boats.
No, I was thinking like, should I just like put it there and then get to the pier? But nah.
Yeah,
it's
literally.
Like, it's fine. It's fine. Romaric. Yes. Alrighty, Ilbert. Let us speak. This way, my friends. Your quarry makes for the Hawthorn Hut. If Royal is truly the one we seek, we can expect that she means to make contact with her Gallian masters there. An explanation is in order. You are no doubt aware that the Gallians have their own method of communicating over great distances. Well, our ingenious friends at Garlon Ironworks have provided us with devices which disrupt these communications, and we have installed them around the city-states. In so doing, we have made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Royal would thus have no choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet, as a well-known face in the Immortal Flames, she cannot move about Thanalan without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. 'Tis for this reason, I believe, that she has chosen the Black Shroud for her clandestine meeting. The Elezen are a common sight here, and her comings and goings are not liked to her appearance. As my scouts tell it, the Gallians have sent agents with a mind to destroy the devices and render such direct contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We need only make for Hawthorn's hut and catch Royal in the act. Alrighty. exciting. My people report that our quarry has departed for the Bramble Patch. The ivy returns to the gnarls whence she came, but perhaps it is all for the better. To convict someone of her standing, we will require damning evidence against her. What could be better than to catch her in the act when she meets with her Gullian masters? My countrymen and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends. Shiny rock.
It might be flavored, we don't know.
Don't
Or
know,
maybe it's a
and-
giant salt lick.
Yeah! Oh my god, could you imagine? Oh,
It's like, yeah, it's
no.
blueberry flavored. Ah!
Ah, not quite accurate. Could rub a potato on it though.
It's like a Himalayan salt lamp.
Yeah. Just beyond, Roal is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer. An imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it, with me. They look related. Flame Marshal Aline Roal, you are under arrest for treason and espionage. You are followed, you bloody fool. Damnation. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely garbed for battle. But if you wish to fight, you are welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelveswood? When I last looked, that was no crime, and neither was conversing with passing strangers. He already yelled that you were followed. You would feign ignorance then. Very well. If you do think of something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now, come quietly, or I shall make you wish you had. I will offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. Thank you very much, Qualish. Today's stream is sponsored by Square Enix. Thank you very, very much. I greatly appreciate the opportunity. And if you would like to try Final Fantasy XIV for yourself for free, you get a whole big chunk of the game completely free of charge. I would love if you would use the link that Qualitron has most recently dropped into chat, as that is a tracked link that reports back the success of this campaign. And hey, if the campaign's successful, maybe we get more sponsored streams into the future. Fingers crossed. I love working with Square Enix. They're really good to work with. Very much enjoy.
Damn, 10 out of
They were
10.
amazing, like really lovely to meet at PAX as well.
Aw, that's good.
Yeah, really good. I got to meet a couple of people from the PR agency and one person from Square Enix from London, who was out for and he was very, very happy with everything. Like he was working the booth, handing out the t-shirts for beating the bosses and stuff. He was like very, very fun. Really great guy.
Oh, the meme UIs was so good.
Yeah.
Scathe Mage and Dragon Kick Monk, let's go.
So much fun. That booth is always bonkers at PAX, my god.
I'm not surprised.
Even a warrior of Ral's renown could not have hoped to escape by force. Despite her claims, her surrender does not bespeak innocence, but an awareness that her position is untenable. With the ivy thus uprooted, It is to be hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Mayhap then the people of Uldar will have the grand company they deserve. But let us speak of the present. If I may ask, what will you do now, Fiamma? The next MSQ.
Quest, please.
Yes. Where do I go next? Breadcrumb, please. So the Scions seek a way into Iceheart's sanctum. Oh, yes, that one. Yes. Then I dare say you are eager to return to the Rising Stones. Pray do not let me keep you. Fear not, my countrymen and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talents here. And speaking of talents, have you considered training in the art of the shinobi? You have the aptitude for it, I believe, so please give it some thought. Till next time, my friend. Okay, speak with Minfilia. Hey. Been a while since we've seen Minfilia. Okay. Welcome back, Fiamma. I understand that Alphino had a task for you. May I ask what it was? No, charges of treason and espionage against Eileen Royal? I can scarce believe it. Could there not have been some manner of misunderstanding? No, it avails us naught to dwell on it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust the authorities to uncover it. Let us speak of another matter. I am pleased to report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum. As you may recall, Iceheart used the Aetheryte in the depths of Snowcloak to teleport a short distance to the west, most likely to a sanctuary of some description. It is there that we suspect she means to summon Shiva using the crystals she stole from the House Fortomp caravan. The heretics believe that they are bringing about the second coming of their patron saint. But if, as we suspect, they mean to hold a summoning ritual of the kind employed by the beast tribes, it seems likely that the result will be something more akin to a primal. No misunderstanding, only treason? Yeah, it's about right. It's about right, Jazz. Suffice it to say they must be stopped, and stop them we shall, but first, we must surmount the obstacle that Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into the established Ethernet and thereby follow our quarry. However, despite our best efforts, we have been unable to ascertain the position of the Aetheryte to which she teleported. Our prevailing theory is that she destroyed the second Aetheryte upon arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. After discussing the matter at length with Urianger, I've forgotten how to pronounce his name again.
Urianger.
Urianger, it is the J, not the Je. Yep, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I will get there. We have concluded that we lack the expertise to develop a solution, which is why we have called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise, a colleague of ours who is currently en route to Revenant's Toll from Charlayan. She should be arriving within the hour, in fact. Since you are here, mayhap we could welcome her together. I am certain she would appreciate the gesture. Let us make our way to the northern gates and await her coming. No bane of English speakers? Yeah. Basically, that's yeah.
Shakespearean person. Please stop.
Indeed. Fantasy 14, my other love. Indeed, Dan. Indeed. We are back in Eorzea. How awesome is that? And thanks to Square Enix's sponsored stream. So good. So thankful. If you've got any friends who you're trying to refer on to the free trial, we do have a link that they can use. If you type !FFXIV into chat, you'll get the link for this particular campaign. And hey, the more people we can refer through, the better there is a chance of us getting more sponsor streams in the future. So by all means. No cat destination.
Absolute cat behavior.
Correct.
It's like, no, pet me
Appropriate.
instead.
Yep. That's it. So thank you, Gigi. Much appreciated. I am a 59 paladin. I have done a bit of the main scenarios earlier, but we're getting there.
Minfilia, am I right?
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
Moonbreeder is an accomplished Sharlayan scholar and an authority on aetherite technologies. She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Thumbs up, buddy. Still hilarious. Where did she go? Let us return to the Rising Stones at once, then. We have much to discuss.
Okie doke.
Canon, like, definitely Final Fantasy 14 thing. Also, like a real life thing. Like, just.
True.
Yeah.
As a cat owner, true.
We go back into the sun.
Moon! Gods, it's been ages!
Oh, longer, sister.
A joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. We have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Sharlayan to assist us. I bid Moonbreeder join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits. And nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
Oriange, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Unhand me.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me. I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Go on.
Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit. Mine intent, as well thou knowest, was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compeers thine aid.
You still haven't found it, then? Your missing aetherite?
We have not. No. We know that Iceheart teleported to an aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate the second beacon. We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second aetherite to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that. Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the aetherite.
Oh my god, look at the abs on my armor.
In that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate. However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination. Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Makes sense.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have white aura sight at their disposal.
But like...
I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the aetherite. However, white aura sight cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand. Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
Though it risked the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options. If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moonbreeder's plan.
That's the spirit. Let's roll the dice.
Bro.
And that one.
Got my cat and hold her when she's away. Can't really do that with cat boys. Not without consent, that's for sure.
I mean, you could just play an hour of rogue. They're very big. Cat boys are very small.
Alright, Minfilia, let's do this.
I think, just really quick, I think I might have to dip because the storm's falling in.
Oh, that's okay. Jeez, be careful.
Yeah, it's all good. I don't want my PC to fry.
Very fair. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Talk to you soon.
Yeet.
Everyone who has tried this before has died. Now it's your turn. That's exactly right, Erica. Like, what? Good. I have already informed Alphino of our plan to recreate the beacon in the manner Moonbreeder described. He agreed that despite the inherent danger, it represents our only hope of success. You get the rain. We don't? Are we not getting it? Where's Bureau of Meteorology? Rain radars. Brisbane. Oh, it's gonna hit us. Yep, it's gonna hit us in maybe like the next. Within the next half hour, I reckon. We've got like multitudes of surge protection. Like we've got it at the apartment level, and then at the like at the building level, and then at the apartment level, and then also like our switchboards and stuff. So like yeah, we're fine. But you know, we're gonna get it as well. No one has a problem with just teleporting into an unknown destination. Okay. Yeah, like come on, guys. He also said that he wished to meet with you at Snowcloak before proceeding. I expect you will find him waiting for you there when you arrive. I want you to know that I appreciate everything you have done on our behalf, Fiamma, and that I have faith you will return to us, as you always have. I love that I'm just being volunteered for this stuff. Like, are you... Come on. Come on. A horrible death, no biggie. Maybe let me go out my window with my... Yeah, but look at the rain radar, Jazz. Look at the rain radar. There's a glob of red that's, like, long, and the middle of it is gonna hit Brisbane head on. It's not gonna be long. It's only gonna be like a 5-10 minute thing tops, but it's there. Voluntold. That's exactly it, Sync. Like, come on, come on. Hello, Sync. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well today. Oh, I'm supposed to... Okay. I'm just gonna cut this. Anyway, let's go. Hey, Fallon, welcome back. Oh, yum. Though technically a soup, this XIV dish consists of mainly of large slabs of smoked bacon, warmed with several other lesser ingredients. That sounds delicious. Let's use that because it actually gives us an EXP buff too. I always forget that food helps. Zoom. Blap, 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 blap. Advice trying to cut down on touch about tea. Any recommendations? Well, are you looking for the wakey uppy hit from the coffee? Because tea's not going to do that. Like, you will find yourself struggling with the lack. There is still caffeine in black tea, especially, like, double checking that the tea you're buying does have caffeine, because there's a lot of non-caffeinated teas on the market now. But your hit from tea is much less than a hit from espresso coffee. So if you're looking for something to wake you up in the morning, it's going to take you a while. Like, your body will eventually wean off needing caffeine, but it might take a little bit. Like, you'll have some withdrawals and stuff like that for a little while. And withdrawals from caffeine are not really, they're not, like the shakes and stuff like that, unless you've got an extreme addiction and you're drinking 12 or so cups a day. But if, like, you might find yourself just really sluggish and tired for a little while. Everyone's different. It may be better, it may be worse, it may last longer, it may not last long at all, that kind of thing. But there are so many different types of tea out there. It really depends on whether you're looking for something like deep and smoky or light and fruity, or like, tea has a lot more flavor profiles than coffee does. Coffee does still have a lot of flavor profiles, don't get me wrong. Like, all your single origin stuff and all that, they do all taste slightly different. But tea is more different. Kind of the wakey up kind, but something that tastes good. I hate coffee, Oh, you dump vanilla creamer in it, like black tea, jasmine tea, and chai. Well, I mean, start with those, and then if you find flavored black teas or chais that have slightly different, like I know that a couple of years ago, T2 was doing a box of 6 different chais, like little like bags of all different types of chai, so you could like try out their chai range, that kind of thing. So you'll find a lot of places will do some kind of a sample box where you've got a bunch of different things that all fall under the same umbrella, but you will not get the same wake-up effect from tea as you do from coffee. There is not as much caffeine. So you will have some withdrawals, but you may find that eventually, as long, if you stay away from the coffee, you won't need it anymore. It's like, as you need more and more coffee to get the same effect. It's like many other stimulants. You get used to it and you need more to get the same effect. So you cut it out and eventually you won't need it anymore, and it'll just be a comforting, warm beverage whenever you feel like you want it, like a part of your wake-up routine, whatever it happens to be. But if you go into any specialty tea store, my favorite is T2 in Australia, but it'll depend on where you're located. If you have a physical location you can go to, maybe there's a different tea store that you can go into, and let them know that you don't like coffee, but you're looking for something with a stronger caffeine hit that's a tea that might help you wake up. And they might be able to give you, because I definitely don't drink it for the caffeine. A lot of the teas that I drink are caffeine free. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. So I don't have that sort of kind of help I could give you. But I'm sure someone in one of those stores would be able to help. And then from there, just experiment. If you smell something or you see a name of a flavor and go, oh, that sounds interesting, give it a crack. See what you think. Too much caffeine. Want to wean off it? Yeah. That's it. So if you want to have a hot beverage in your hands so that you've got that same ritual step, but without the overdosing of the caffeine, then yeah, tea is a really great way to go with that. And if you're dumping a ton of vanilla into your coffee, then chai is a good way to do that too. Having a chai latte. I especially love my chai with soy milk. I feel like, not because I am lactose intolerant or anything like that, I'm also not veg or vegan or anything along those lines, but I find that the nutty, creamy taste of soy milk goes really, really nicely with a good chai. But of course, to each their own. But yeah, have an experiment. Yeah, so tea not as prevalent here that I've seen. That sounds good. Yeah. A lot of places here now are not, like, you still get the odd place that'll charge you an extra 50 cents to change out the milk. But the vast majority of places aren't doing that anymore because they all cost the same anyway, and there's so many different varieties. You've got your regular milk, skim milk, lactose-free milk, oat milk, almond milk, soy milk, coconut milk in some places if you're lucky. Like, there's just, it's, yeah. So, give it a crack, and then yeah, have a look online. You might find a place, even if you can't go into a store and ask someone physically, if you can find a specialty tea store that ships to you, contact their customer service. I'm sure they would love to receive an email that isn't a complaint. Demand to know why something's out of stock, you know what I mean? Like, asking them for their genuine opinions might actually be something they'll be interested in. Yeah. So eating an apple in the mornings works wonders regarding waking up. Interesting, I didn't know that. Miss Tiva, and I wish Starbucks would. Oh, that's rough. A little bit messed up, yeah. That is a whole lot. That's a lot much. Speak to your medical professional. If you see a GP, they can help you. Like any kind of addiction, you can absolutely speak to a GP and they can help you step things down. Like 100%. There are support lines and help groups and all that kind of stuff out there for all sorts of stuff like that. And you know, if you're drinking 8 cups of coffee a day, cutting it out is not an option, but step it down to 7 for 3 weeks, and then 6 for another 3 weeks, and then 5 for 3 weeks. It's the same as any medication that has those kind of withdrawal side effects. You can get off them. You've just got to go the right way about it, and you've got to do it slowly and gradually to let your body adjust to each step before you introduce the next step. I've had medications for my chronic illnesses in the past that have had wicked withdrawals. If I missed a single pill, I'd have to take 2 days off work, kind of problem. You know, when you do that, you're like, holy cow, that's quite scary that my body's so reliant on a chemical, right? But it's what I needed to help with my symptoms, yeah? So that's you know, what you gotta do. And so, you know, we went and got a variety of scripts for all different concentrations, and I stepped down over a matter of months. And here I am not on it anymore, and I don't have any of those side effects. And so it can definitely be done. Sometimes you just gotta get help with it. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. Bodies are weird, hey? Like, isn't it amazing how they work and don't work? More than 2 cups of coffee, I start feeling shaky. Yeah, I don't drink coffee because I don't like the taste. But I can understand how, like, I've had those kind of things with other beverages or food or snacks or whatever in the past, for sure. And I've been irritable if I don't get to have my daily, whatever it happens to be, and stuff like that. I for sure understand that kind of thing. But yeah, taking your time with it and letting your body adjust is important. Also consider sugar-free soda alternatives. Speaking as a type 2 diabetic, I would definitely recommend it. Caveat, I'm not a medical professional. Speak to your doc. Exactly. And I can also like 6-7 years ago, sugar-free soda was trash. It was trash. Diet Coke tastes like Coke, regular Coke that's gone flat and then been recarbonated. And yes, flat Coke tastes different to bubble Coke. Don't. They were just not good. They were not good. But these days, there are some sodas that I actually prefer the taste of the sugar-free version to the sugar-full version. I kid you not. They do some really... I mean, it's still not great to be drinking that much of it anyway. Like, there are other issues it can cause, like, especially when it's fizzy drink. You, like, drinking all that gas and stuff can cause some issues for your digestion and things like that. But it is a good way to start stepping yourself down. And then making, like, water cocktails and things like that. Even, like, especially if you can get your hand, and I know it's an investment, and I know that not everyone can do it, and I respect that. If you can get your hands on a soda stream machine, and you carbonate just plain water, and then infuse it with stuff. So, like, getting, like, don't ever carbonate stuff that isn't pure water, because it explodes out the top and gets really goddamn messy. But if you carbonate water and then stick, like, slices of apple or lemon or chunks of watermelon or whatever, and like let it in and have that as like it's actually really tasty. And then you can control what's going into it as well, so that you know. I had a book on Throne a while back that was so kindly gifted to me, which was a book. It was a recipe book from Amazon that was full of soda streams, like homemade soda stream syrup recipes. So you could control sugar levels and all that kind of stuff, and you could make a batch of it and freeze it or whatever, and then like add it to your soda stream so that you could have some more control over what you were doing. But yeah, it's really good. Good stuff. Good stuff. Those are expensive? Yeah, they're expensive for good reason though. They've, done a whole lot of study. And, they're held to a higher standard than random people on the internet. Well done. Okay, so where's a bit diet sodas? I mean, obviously, you do your own research, talk to your GP about it, all that kind of stuff, but, yeah. Now we're better than sugar. Yeah. There is a lot of information out there, though, like a lot of medical studies and stuff that you can read even just the intro for, and it kind of gives a summary. Doctors don't tend to be too hyperbolic. In the whole world, because they keep getting questioned. Fine if you don't trust them. What's the living through that you're eating? Yeah, that's it. Like a lot of people, I remember watching a documentary on sugar versus sweeteners, and people were like, oh, but like sweeteners do this and sweeteners do that, and it's like, well, no, they don't. Each individual body will respond to sweeteners differently. Like some people, if they drink too much of a sweetener, they'll get some gastrointestinal distress. But I mean, if a person eats too much pumpkin, they might have the same thing too. Each individual body is going to respond to different foods differently. But the thing is, like, sugar is very, very, very bad for you. Even if a sweetener is very bad for you, one very is still better than 4 or 5 berries. Like, lesser of two evils. If you have that craving for something, you're better off going for something that's bad for you than something that's very, very, very bad for you. But that's just my opinion. And again, I am not a medical professional. Yeah, that'll do it. Good morning, hello Pazuki, welcome back. Yeah. Don't cause us to throw peanut butter off the shelves. No, just out of schools. Yeah. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're right. It's all about your body personally. What works for someone else isn't necessarily going to work for you. And that's why we work with medical professionals to find what works for us. Best way to do it. Good to see you, Fiamma. I was starting to wonder if you were having second thoughts. Captain Ilbert sends his regards, by the way. He attends to the interrogation of Eline Royal in Uldar even as we speak. But I shall not distract you from the matter at hand. We can discuss the Ivy upon your return. I trust that, by which I mean to say, the others are waiting for us at the Aetheryte. After you, Scion. I don't know about that, 11. You'd have to do some research, but like, just make sure that when you're reading articles and stuff that they're from a reputable website. Usually a .com is not a great thing, but like a .org.au or .gov tend to be more reliable when it comes to health-based information. Why every chance they're trying to push their agenda with scare tactics converts to it at a high heat. I'm guessing by high heat you mean heats that are likely not found inside the human body. Yeah, it's that critical thinking we always talk about. Understanding what information you can trust and what information you should maybe find a source for. There, it's ready. That was so pretty and glowy. Shiny. 100 degrees Celsius. Yeah, I think if I got that high, I'd probably not feel so good. Personally, like, my temperature got that high. Just personally, you know. Oh, it's a rock again. No longer glowy. Ha! It worked, I think. Try attuning to the aetheryte now. Feel for the current and try to locate the beacon. Bonk. We have done all we can, Fiamma. For now, let us withdraw. When your final preparations are complete, you must seek out the beacon we have created. If, by the grace of the 12, you arrive safely, you must stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva. Sweetness I've ever tried. Is monk fruit just like a plant? But sometimes least sweet is not necessarily a bad thing either. Like, so the way that a dietitian once explained it to me is that if you, so like a medical professional, to be clear, a person, nutritionist, dietitian, different areas put larger weight on either of the two words. Some places one's regulated, one's not, that kind of thing, but this was a medical professional, done a master's degree, all this kind of thing. I believe she had a doctorate, I can't quite, maybe not quite doctor, maybe she was working on a doctorate. But she was very highly educated. She was working professionally in the medical field. And the way she was talking, because I have a lot of sweet cravings, big time, is she told me that it differs for each person, but most people it's somewhere like 2 to 2.5 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, that it takes your taste buds to totally refresh, right? So if you can avoid, like if you eat a ton of candy, if you can avoid candy for like a month, 4 weeks, once you try candy again at the very start of the 5th week, it will taste overwhelmingly sweet to you because your taste buds, they need more and more and more of a flavor. If you keep giving it sugar over and over again, it needs more and more and more of it to taste it at the same level. So if you give yourself a full 4 weeks without the thing, or with much, much, much lower doses of the thing, you'll have a new batch of taste buds who are used to the lower level and so get the same tasty hit out of much less of the bad stuff. Well, the nutritionally dense stuff. She also tried to convince me not to call things good foods and bad foods. It's nutritionally dense foods are the ones that have like so much nutrition packed into a really little amount. So if you eat enough of it to fill you up, you're eating way too many nutrients and your body can't, like, store them as fat and stuff. But if you eat, like, nutritionally not dense foods, you eat more of them to fill up, but you get the right amount of nutrients, and so your body uses it as it should. Anyway. Going off on track again. We cannot ignore the possibility that our actions have alerted Iceheart to our plans. Should that be the case, she may attempt to hasten the completion of the summoning ritual. Or, like, bash the beacon again, like destroy the beacon we just made again. If she succeeds, you will have little choice but to face Shiva in battle. Knowing little of this saint, I cannot say if your own strength will suffice, and so I would encourage you to call upon your allies. Some may have reservations about wagering their lives on this successive Moonbreeder's experiment, but others will surely agree that desperate times call for desperate measures. Like, see, I can't stand beer, but I quite like grapefruit, and I love olives. That's really interesting. Be very suspicious. Like, pushing an agenda that, and then actually be, yeah, for sure. No, totally fine, 11, totally fine. Space Shiva in battle. Not quite, but close. Before you assemble your party, pray speak with that knight. I believe he has a message for you, from Sir Emmerich. Madam, Sir Emmerich regrets that he could not be here in person and asks that I read you this letter. Ishgard faces an unprecedented threat, yet in our hour of need, it is not her knights who stand poised to defend her. Fiamma Ventenerve, the warrior of light, savior of Eorzea, your deeds this day shall not be forgotten. Where others would flee, you choose to remain. Where others would falter, you rise to the challenge. Where others would use their gifts for selfish ends, you wield yours in service to a greater cause. May Halone bless you with good fortune and see you safely home. Hey! Alrighty. Confront Shiva in the Akafar Amphitheater hard. Enter Snowcloak with a party of NPCs. Wait, no, I need Akafar Amphitheater hard with a party of... Okay, that's what I need to do. That one. So it's this one that I'm doing. I'm scared. Okay, what do my stuff do again? So I go 1, 2, 3 to do damage, but then what do I... That's 4 is my AoE. 5 is my second AoE with the combo action. Good. And then it's another random attack with a 30-second. That's it. Shield Lob is my range attack to pull things. There's my stun on 8. Stun on 9. Take all damage intended for another party members unless said member remains within 10 yards. And then reduce damage taken. So that's my own reduced damage. Let's reduce somebody else's damage. Goodness. There's my taunt. My interrupt on C2. Shirk. Oh, that's like a reverse taunt. We don't want that one. That's my cooldown. Increased damage done. Reduce damage dealt by nearby enemies to reduce their damage. Or knockbacks. Reduce damage again. And that's the cooldown for AoE. And reduce damage taken. And I also need to make sure that I pop on my... Where's my, It's my shield, my golden shield that I have to put on at the start of everything. Or is that not... Iron Will, this one. Why is that not on my bars anymore? Oh, it is. It's just release Iron Will. Okay. Good. Alright. Very nervous. I'm a tank. Oh, and it's a raid! Oh, no. This is fine. This is fine. Good morning, Sen. Welcome back. Oh, I love playing a Paladin. It's great fun. I'm having to relearn a few bits and pieces because it's been a little while, but no, I really enjoy Paladin. Basically nonsense. I mean, these are all nonsense as well, technically. So the reason that they implemented that particular mode for the early dungeons playing with NPC is because they recognized that the other games in the Final Fantasy chain of games, they're vastly single-player RPGs. And so when you go through them and you come across Final Fantasy XIV and you're forced to be with other people, it's like, wait a second, what? So the idea is that they wanted people to be able to play through the storyline as a single-player game, like the rest of the chain, like the rest of the IP has been. And I think that's a really beautiful idea. It's so that you can play through the storyline without, like, as a single-player game. And I quite like that idea as well, personally. It's only an effect for the early game dungeons. Like, to be very clear, there is, like, when you're playing through a Realm Reborn, the storyline there, that's where your bots are. That's where your NPC party members are. Once you start getting into, like, this one it's a larger dungeon, right? It's hard mode. It's a trial, right? So it's a higher level trial, and you need 8 people, sorry. So 2 tanks, 2 heals, and 4 DPS. So it's, yeah. It's these higher level ones you don't get you can't have NPCs for the trials. It's just the lower level story dungeons. Story duties. Yeah, dungeons, there you go. Hmm. No insta-queue here. Average wait time is 5 minutes. Welcome back, Brett. I hope you're doing well. This will be great fun. Yeah, language switcher at the top here too. Very cool. This is average wait time 5 minutes. Time elapsed 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So we'll see how we go. For as long as their nation has warred with Dravania, there have been Ishgardians who instead chose to ally themselves with the dragons. Shiva is said to have been among the first, hence why the heretics revere her as a saint. That Iceheart and her followers intend to summon Shiva with the crystals they have stolen is plain. But is this unprecedented act even possible? If so, then Ishgard, if not the entire realm, is in grave danger. 1 to 8 players, 2 tanks, 2 healers, 4 DPS. Why does it say 1 to 8 players? That's interesting. Limited jobs can participate only in a pre-formed party meeting party size requirements or an unrestricted party and if duty calls allow. Interesting. Go 5 minutes in queue. Unavailable. Might do. While we wait for that. Might go do some fishing while we wait for it to pop. Why is it locked? Let's see. Yeah, I know, right? Taking a trial boss would be fine. I've done them before. I just look. I've done a couple trials before. I just, yeah. I don't know. I had help. Polytron, thank you so much for dropping that link. Today's stream is sponsored by Square Enix, and we are so grateful, so endlessly grateful to be working with them again because they're fantastic to work with. If you want to give Final Fantasy XIV a try, you can for free. It's free. You can follow that link, which is tracked. It is a tracked link so that we can see how successful the campaign has been traveling. But yeah, jump on in, free trial. Get a lot of content with the free trial. And the stories explore the world. There are a handful of things that aren't available to you, but it is legitimately only a small handful. Average wait time's up to 7 minutes now. We've got 8 minutes elapsed. Let's see. Can I complete this quest? Oh, I have to switch my job. Right, of course. That's why. I forget. I've got to put it's the weapon, isn't it? That's what I wanted to do. I should probably, like, get rid of a bunch of this, hey? Initiates. Fishing rod. Alright. Now I can do the quest. There's no time limit on the free trial for Final Fantasy XIV. It's limited by the level you can attain. It's pretty cool, hey? Another daring soul come to join our crew, eh? Then let me be the first to welcome you to the Endeavor. Now, this ain't your regular fishing boat. We sail it where we please, holding only the course the wind provides to us. Hey, that's the only way we can see the unseen, know the unknown. You're very welcome, Baziki, very welcome. Captain Berzagle, if I may, the Endeavor is the Guild's only ship of this magnitude, and if we, as you say, sail only where the wind pleases to take us, we may not ever return to this port. The Guild may not look favourably upon such liberal use of its property. My apologies for foregoing an introduction. I'm Driskthota, sent from the Fishermen's Guild to oversee this venture. Why I am here when the ship already has a captain, you ask? Well, as you all may already know, members of our trade, Master Wawalago and Captain Furzagle included, seem to have difficulties managing time. I suppose the concept becomes something of an afterthought when one becomes so focused on water's surface. Regardless, I am here to ensure the ship adheres to its schedule, both by managing its finances and ensuring new crew members board smoothly. The Endeavour shall embark upon any number of predetermined routes, each of which have this port as their final destination. Rest assured, if you fail to join one voyage, the ship shall return before long. Skip this. Yes. Yep. Come on. Come on! Why is it Gladiator? How do I... What? Why? Why is it Gladiator and not Paladin? I don't understand what just happened. I don't understand, but that's fine. That's fine. There's a duty. Alright, there we go. I don't know what I managed to do there, but that's fine. I figured it out for next time, and that's what's important. Okay. Jobstone. But the jobstone wasn't the thing that I did before. It for some reason equipped me, like when I put back the same weapon on, it put me to a gladiator rather than a paladin. That's what but it's the same weapon. And that was, yeah. So now I know my gear set instead. And then I can actually update that, and then I can update the gear set as well. Better! Alright. Now I've learned. Alright. While I'm waiting for that to pop again. Look, it's okay. I'm learning. I made a boo-boo, and we're going there. We're getting there. Alright. So... I've now unlocked ocean fishing. Undiscovered. So maybe we go to the middle and us, yeah, and we just fish. Catch it when it happens? Yeah. Yeah. 2 hours every 24 hours, right? Something like that. Okay, so we have a few undiscovered ones. We've got 2 areas that are on my what's it already, but we've got a few undiscovered. So let's... Undiscovered fishing hole. Amazing! Here we go. West Ageless River. So... this is where we are now. We've got all the same stuff. So let's see if we can find somewhere else. Another spot of water. It's not already. Land here. It's not gonna let us. That's all right. Undiscovered fishing hole. Delightful. try bait. Amazing. Oh, wow, okay. Pretty sure the glowy ones might be fine. I think these ones were just, like, special conditions and stuff. Reach to land an even bigger catch. Yes, please. Hey! Ooh! Shiny. Is that a new thing? Yeah, look! Hey, nice. Tick off anything in the other ones, but that's really cool. Okay. Try. Maybe so. Okay. Oh! White coral! So that one worked. Ooh, ocean cloud. I'll mooch that and get something bigger. Hey, blue octopus. New personal record for deep sea. Alright, let's see if we can find a spot to fish from to see if we can't get these two undiscovered to be discovered. Something. Oh. Okay. Ah, because this is a gate. Okay, that's understandable. Here. Undiscovered fishing hole, amazing. Mm. Stop fishing. I'm not gathering. Ugh. Panic. I got something. I think I leveled up in fishing. I think I'm 28 now. I think that's what happened. Yep, I did. Wonderful. What? Thank you. Good. All right, here we go. Here we go. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Panic. Yep. Sound commands are turned off because sponsored. Just FYI. A lot of you wouldn't have been here for a sponsored stream before because you found me like Dragonflight.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down.
Uh-oh.
We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance.
Oh. I think she's meant to be glowy.
Of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more.
She's planning to turn into Shiva.
Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
Oh. Awkward. Uh-oh. I mean, she's pretty, but uh-oh. This can't be good. Hairstyles. Oh, the headdress. Right, yeah. No, it is her hair. Good, I was right the first time. Okay, alright, alright, alright. Here we go, here we go. That's pretty. Oh! Okay. The soundtrack is just amazing. Hey! Amazing. I'm getting advice. Because I was terrible. Alright, I think... Okay. It's called the many ice. Absolutely, all of the ice. The area is called Kurthus, and it's like the whole place is frozen. It's lovely. Gathering buddy to play with. I'm sure you'll be able to find one dancing, for sure. I know, right? Very good question, Zink. Very good question. Good evening, Kitty. Welcome back. No
Fool. Blind, bloody fool. You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause. You fight in a war
Paragon,
you do
yes,
not
definitely
understand. A
Welcome
pawn
on
of liars and schemers. And they are no less ignorant than you, following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why.
I mean, like, none of the, like, that's one of the things I'm really loving about the storyline here is that, like, there aren't very many of them that are truly, actually evil. They're, like, they're misguided, sure, but, like, we are doing the same thing. We're blindly following our own kind of what's it, so it's, yeah.
Trapped in a delusion of their own creation and blind to the truth.
It's a hard trial, but it's not,
Warrior
like, it's
of
still a
light.
storyline.
Redemption is not beyond us.
This is still, like, one of the first trials you encounter. We're still we're still on beginner level stuff. Yeah.
We
It's harder
who
than
walk
a dungeon.
before may lead those who walk after.
Very well, thank you, Donna. I hope you can say the same. I mean, hard is still not easy.
Seek the keeper of the lake.
Easier than Savage Roll.
See with eyes unclouded. Do not squander a mother's gift. Hear, feel, think.
Oh gosh. Oh, go away! Don't want you here.
And so the vessel withdraws, a predictable outcome. Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased. How unfortunate.
I'm so glad it ported me back here. It is super early content. Yeah, this is still like storyline from right after the very first, like the base game kind of thing. So yeah, it's the thing. Hello, Keiki, welcome back. Have a blast. Either they want you to progress the story. Absolutely, absolutely. By the 12, you're alive. I mean, of course you're alive. Why wouldn't you be? My god, Moon. Iceheart did what? And you're certain about that, are you? Trevanians are skilled with glamours after all. Look, if you say that's what you saw, I believe you. It's just that I've never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. Are you sure you're not injured? Head trauma has been known to cause hallucinations, you see. No, fair enough. I was only asking. Rita, how could you? How dare you? Here we go. If you ask me, there's naught to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing cold. Let's save it for the Rising Stones, eh? I'll get everyone to meet us there. But before that, you had best pay a visit to White Brimfront and speak with Alphino. He's probably worried sick about you. That, or he's busy playing at politics with the Ishgardians. Either way, I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you hale and healthy. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No? Blurred vision? Oh, no reason. See you again soon. Excuse me. Excuse me. Alrighty. Let's go. Head injury. What does she take me for? Like a sage? She's, look. the quest thing said Moonbreeder is still remains unconvinced that you don't have a head injury. I'm just like, I beg your pardon. Oh, this is where I have to go up again. Never know. There she is, and none the worse for wear. Was there ever any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? I think I speak for us all when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. Blah 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 ice. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. But not too late to prevent further loss of life, an outcome worthy of celebration, and one for which we have Fiamma to thank. Yes, you are right, of course, Sir Emmerich. We should be content with what we have accomplished. I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. Excuse me. There is the matter of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days, weeks, moons, or even years, my knights will find her. In the meantime, Lord Dromont, is the caravan ready? The supplies that your men recovered have been prepared for transport, in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Revenant's Toll. Of that I have no doubt. I take it these are the self-same supplies the heretics stole from the House Fortont caravan. Less the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of that which was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. On an unrelated note, Fiamma, might I trouble you to accompany me to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? 'Tis not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen knights to restrain him, I am told. Someone likes me. Men give vent to their anxieties in myriad ways. Pray do not think less of him. Coffee, enjoy, Sam. Oh, no worries, Keggy. Rest well. Hope you're feeling better soon. Righty. Go. And away. Oh! Sorry, I'm so concentrated on like what I need to accomplish for sponsored stream and like checking chat and all that kind of stuff. I always miss little things like that in game. I'm so sorry. It's definitely a thing. Go. Hello, Lexa. What were you thinking, Fiamma, wagering your very being on a dubious theory which might allow you to enter Iceheart's lair, knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete her ritual to summon Shiva anyway? And then, engaging the abomination in mortal combat? By the fury, Fiamma, 'tis the stuff of ballads, a battle for the ages. Would that I had been there to fight by your side. Yet here I was, forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. But you are here now, and that is what truly matters. Let us move on. Sir Aymeric wished to have words with you and Master Alphino in private. He awaits us in the intercessory. Oh no, down there. Okay. Whee! Let's go to Smithy. Greetings, madame. I shall show you in at once. Proceed. Yeah, right? Come on. Did you really? I've got plot armor.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task. From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Nautalon.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy. You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary. We too have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgard-Zoma could return?
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's Toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am now. Why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learned to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's Toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget, one born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them. I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Lucia, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely. lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences.
I am small.
Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you. Which reminds me, Lord Orchefort, if you would be so kind?
Certainly.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
Oh, of course. That's so kind of you. You're just gonna drop me just outside the thing. Happy. It would seem we have much to discuss with our friends at the Rising Stones. If what you say is true, Isart's method of summoning Shiva defies all precedent. It necessitates a complete reappraisal of the primal threat and of our approach to combating it. Moreover, there are grave ramifications if word of this incident reaches Imperial ears. The Garlean Empire believes that primals are an insufferable menace, that their mere existence is a threat to this very star. As such, they deem any action taken against the beast tribes to be justified by default. Imagine then, if it became known that it was not only the beast tribes of Eorzea that could summon primals, but her civilized peoples as well. Any lingering objections to the Eorzean campaign would vanish overnight. Where before we had to contend with a single Imperial Legion, we could well find ourselves facing the combined might of all Garlemald. But I speak unadvisedly. Come, Fiamma, it is better that we continue this conversation in Mordona. Na na na. Right. Is this you? Tis. Unicult. Oh my god. Thank you. That is super freaking adorable. No, not companion. It's the other one. Minion. I'm getting there. I'm learning. Unicult. Summon your Unicult minion, because two horns are not always better than one. Symbols of purity and innocence, newborn unicorns are kept by the Ishgardian Church to create holy water, used in sacred rites, a process that involves the creatures dipping their horns in spring water, while a sanctified priest blesses it. That's really super cute. Four-legged and tall, with a pristine white coat and a single horn protruding from its brow. Says Brea. That is so adorable. Oh my god. Thank you very much. That is adorable. Alrighty. Head to Mordona. Na 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 na. Talkie time.
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole. Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Kurthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it. Excellent. I shall summon the others at once. Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Master Louisoir's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King Mogglmog the 12th was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not. But full sure am I that she was groomed for this role. Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you. Hear, feel, think. Hydaelyn speaks to her as well. If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth. Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Midgard-Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well-founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard-Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
Row. Complete. Alrighty, so the next quest we have up is the Reason Royale. So I'm assuming we're going back to the Ivy storyline to see what the interrogation of Royale has discovered. However, this is the end of the sponsored segment of today's stream. I would like to again say thank you so much to Square Enix for believing in me and my content and sponsoring another stream and another couple coming up. We'll be back to Eorzea next Wednesday, the 22nd of March, and the Wednesday after that, the 29th of March as well. I will hope that you'll join us and see where the storyline takes us. I'm not sure if we'll have any extra special events to partake in, but I will check and get back to you. Keep an eye on Discord, on Twitter, on all the different places for those kind of updates. But we'll be back to Eorzea next Wednesday. We are not cutting the stream off here. We will continue with the rest of stream up until my normal finish time. However, I will be shutting off the stream here and then starting like a fresh batch, like turning off the content and then turning it back on again with a non-sponsored segment of the stream. So don't go anywhere. We won't be triggering a raid because we aren't going anywhere. I will be back very, very shortly. I hope that you'll stick around. I'll see you in just a moment. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks again to Square Enix.